Alright guys, welcome back to another GeoGuessr video here today. We're doing our 5 metas every pro should know series once again. Happy Sunday, of course, and today we're covering Mexico. Highly requested in the comments, I wouldn't say highly, I guess, but was requested in the comments last week, so I decided to cover it this week, and thought it would be a good chance to dive into some very somewhat niche Mexico metas and then some poll metas as well that you can generally use to help you distinguish places throughout the country. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and stick around to the end, of course, and learn some stuff. All right, so the first thing we're moving into here is the Oaxaca wind farm. So the wind farm is pretty much going to be on these two big spaces. So I don't know if you guys can see what I'm circling here, but you can. These two big spaces here, but you can pretty much see them everywhere. So this is probably the main road that is in the Plonket Guide, in which you, between Juchitán de Zaragoza and Union Hidalgo, see just a bunch of windmills to the north here. And you can just see them everywhere. Like, look how many there are, basically. But with this red band around it, yeah. And there's going to be a railway to the north as well. Another good meta for this area. So if you see this, I mean, it's quite easy. Dry coverage as well, because they took this during dry season. Very easy to just line up the road and just, railway in front and windmills in front here. So this is the main road that's covered on the Plonket Guide, I do believe. And also this 190 road, I believe, is what they mentioned as well. So this one, obviously, looking to the south because it's going to be in this big pocket here. Bunch of windmills, and yeah, same dryness in terms of coverage. A bit more green, but yeah, just has a very dry feel to it. But you can just see the windmills pretty much everywhere in these two pockets here. And yeah, just looking around, like, look, we've got it like pretty much on both sides here of the road, actually, both north and south. So even up here a little bit, there are some windmills. And yeah, just absolutely huge. And you see this ridge here. So I decided, hey, are there any windmills visible from like the north-south roads on this? Oh, and then, sorry, this road on the 190 as well. Like, even from here, you can see all of these windmills out here on this road. So dry coverage like this, obviously, during the dry season. But if you look south, you have to have a pretty keen eye to spot it, but you can see all of these windmills here. So, yeah, look how many there are. And they're on this road 190 here, as well as, like, from here as well. This, it's a bit harder to see, just because there are some dense foliage blocking it, but you can see it here as well. Like, look, we've got a big chunk here. So we've got that as well. And then on the north-south roads, you can kind of see them. They're lining both sides of the road. So as you're going from Union Hidalgo to La Venta, there are a lot of windmills, especially with this mountain in the background. That's going to be this ridge here, this mountain range, basically. So these are pretty useful, I think, for getting Hidalgo with the dry season, with the windmills. All of those things pretty much equate to a nice little Oaxaca guess here. And you guys were watching the Road to Number 1 series. I did use this, I think, earlier this week against an opponent. I forget who it was against. I think it was against Clement. Against Clement, I think I used this and guessed this road instead of this one because I just lined it up very poorly, but did know the windmill meta. Of course, there are windmills up here, like a lot near Tamaulipas, near the Texas border, but this is the main one we're focusing on with the dry coverage, with, the road angle as well. It's really a road angle simulator if you see a bunch of windmills and it's dry coverage like this in in Oaxaca. And yeah, this can definitely propel you to getting a good guess because, it's very hard to guess coastal Mexico. So you definitely need metas in terms of finding stuff. And this is a great one for guessing this specific pocket of Oaxaca. Yo, guys, don't mean to interrupt, but I think you guys need to subscribe and also like the video. Help me out a lot, and it's free, so definitely do it. Enjoy the video. All right, next we're going to talk about 3 specific kind of landscape features, I guess, in Mexico. There's 3 huge things that could help you point out exactly where you are. in the country. So this one, we're starting off in Tamaulipas, and this is the Cerro del Bernal, a dormant volcano here. And as I check, like it has a very distinct shape, kind of looks like a hat, like a straw hat maybe. But like this ridge is very jagged. Like let's see if we can get a better view of it. But yeah, here's a great view of it. Um, Kind of has this shape, and then like very rocky and cragged at the top. So that's like a very good indication. And like this is the most unique mountain of all time, right, in Mexico. So this will definitely propel you to get a good guess. And it's pretty much seen like around this Tamaulipas area, so just west and southwest of Gonzales here. And yeah, you can see it even from out here. Like this is quite far away on this road between Graciano Sanchez and Francisco Madero Dos. But yeah, even on the 80 here, the main highway, you can definitely make it out. It's a bit less distinct from the backside, I guess, but you can still make out that like flat shape into the craggedness at the top and then flat again. And yeah, here's a great view of it as well from the backside. So yeah, this is the first landscape thing that we're going to go over. Definitely very good, and you know, good for getting a very good guess, especially a very niche guess to help propel you to a win, of course. All right, the next thing that we're going to go over is actually in San Luis Potosi, just southwest of that area in Tamaulipas here. So we actually have the Sierra del Abra Tanchipa here. And this is just like a very flat, straight ridge. Kind of reminds me of the ridge that you get in Eswatini on the southeastern part of Eswatini, where it's just going to be like a flat, straight mountain range like that. And that's very similar to the case here. So yeah, if you can pretty much see it from a lot of the openings on this road. Like it's not super visible all the time, like on this one, for example. But yeah, you can kind of see the beginning of it here as well. But yeah, if you see this, I mean, it's a very good indication that you are in this area of San Luis Potosi. And you know, you can get a really good region guess down if you see like an Eswatini style ridge such as this one. All right, lastly, we're going to move up to Coahuila here, and we're looking at the Maderas del Carmen Biosphere Reserve. You guys can kind of see what I mean. It's a very cragged style mountain, kind of like the Tamaulipas one. But yeah, also just flat domed at the top. I think this is a great example because like just absolutely massive monolithic mountains. With like kind of like tiers to it, I guess, is the best way to describe it. But yeah, just absolutely huge. Kind of reminds me of like Cape Mountains in a way, slightly. But yeah, this is a very distinct looking mountain range, so I definitely encourage you guys to look around, especially on this dirt road here, this 53 road that goes up to Big Bend National Park. I mean, Big Bend itself also has quite monolithic mountains there. And yeah, no surprise that this mountain range really does carry down into the Mexican border. But yeah, just huge mountains here, and very good indication. This is a great view of it, but yeah, like couple tiers of it, but very good indication that you're on the 53 here, on a dirt road like this. I think this is the most recent coverage, yeah. This is the only coverage, actually, with the striped blue car, so all of those, plus this mountain, should indicate you to get a really specific region guess here, and, you know, it's not super easy, so I think this is potential for good points because there's not a lot of coverage, obviously, in Coahuila in general. And, you know, you can see people making like a Chihuahua Torreon guess here, something like that. So, yeah, very useful to use. All right, our third meta here today is going to be Boojum Trees, I believe they're pronounced. And those are just going to be like these like alien tentacle like looking trees that you can find in the middle of the Baja Peninsula. And yeah, that pretty much carries like from, I would say, from Punta Prieta all the way up to like El Rosario area. So like this first part of the bioreserve here. Yeah, they're quite common there. You can see them pretty much everywhere. Here's a really good view, like these alien tentacle like tree looking things. I think they're cacti, but like it's like very interesting. Maybe it's not cacti. Any botany experts can help me out there, but yeah, you'll see these pretty much everywhere. Here's one without like the spikes on the side, but yeah, you see how it's growing up like this. I'm sure they're found other places on the Baja Peninsula, but they're most common in this area. So if you do see them, I think the safest thing is to probably just click, between El Rosario and Punta Prieta. So, yeah. I mean, here's like a less good example, I would say, because these are pretty much dying. But yeah, we do get these alien tentacle-like trees amongst cacti. Like, they're somewhat hard to spot, I guess. I mean, this is probably the best view of it, but yeah, somewhat hard to spot, but definitely very valuable for guessing the middle of the Baja Peninsula. Because, it's a very long peninsula and can be quite hard to guess. So if you see one of these, middle is always a good click here, rather than committing to north or south. All right, we're going to go over a lot of pole metas here for meta number 4. So this is kind of like a huge thing shoved into one meta, but thought this would be valuable for you guys. I always like to include a long meta in each one of these 5 metas every pro should know video. So these mesh body poles that we're going to be talking about here, like stuff like this, where you can see the wiring in the middle here, kind of reminds me of like a fence in a way. But yeah. They're going to be found in Querétaro, and then over here in Guanajuato. So, like, this is a different mesh style, but you can still see these, like, X's running down the middle of the pole here. And then also in San Luis Potosi. So, yeah, this is a great view of it. You can see that X pattern making diamonds here in the middle. But, yeah, just a mesh body to the pole is going to be found in these 3 states. Shout out the Plunkett Guide, of course, for all of these pole metas. All right, next one we'll be going over is the single support beam plus lowered crossbar in Durango State. So by that, I mean kind of like a Timor style, like support bar that goes out to the outside insulator, like you do get in Timor in Indonesia, is going to be like very, very common in Durango, I would say. You can see them everywhere. This one's on a wooden pole, but we do have that Timor style going out to that outside insulator. And then here on the lowered crossbar, kind of going out there. Like, this is probably the best example going out to that outer crossbar here. But you're looking for the lowered crossbar plus the single support beam is what you're looking for. That's specific to Durango. All right, next, all throughout the Baja Peninsula, you can find wooden poles, of course. But these wooden poles with hanging insulators like this are exclusive to Baja. So if you see these, you'll know to guess the Baja Peninsula. Sometimes you can get a double crossbar on it with these hanging insulators. But yeah, they are quite common all throughout the Baja Peninsula. So that's a great indication alongside, the sandy landscape, of course. Great indication that you are in Baja with the wood poles and hanging insulators. Alrighty, next one we'll move to is another pole meta, and this is for like the middle of the country here. So it can be found in downtown CDMX. So stuff like this, asymmetrical crossbar with double stacked insulators. I mean, this isn't the best example, I would say, but by double stacked insulators, I kind of just mean like, these like mushroom style ones that you kind of see in Bahia in Brazil, just double stacked on top. And that's leading to the wire and holding the wire in place on top. But these can be found in downtown Mexico City, in all of Mexico State, Hidalgo, and Morelos. So I found an example in each one. This one's a bit harder to see, but you can see what I mean with the double stacked insulators. This is probably the best example, of course, with the 1 and then the 2 on top of the asymmetrical crossbar. Asymmetrical crossbar is key to this one. And you can see that in all 3 of these as well. All right, usually Yucatan is quite easy to recognize, I would say, just because, we have this flatness, very jungly looking, like both sides of the road, and then this road quality very, like, I don't know, grainy in a way. But similar to the Baja poles, in Yucatan, you will get these concrete poles, but with hanging insulators. So the Baja ones are going to be wood, of course, but then this one is concrete, but you do see these hanging insulators sometimes on 2 crossbars. But yeah, you do get these hanging insulators everywhere. But like, I mean, Yucatan is quite easy to recognize regardless, I think. But this is a good meta for trying to decide, hey, are we in like, I mean, it can look similar to some stuff on the coast of Tabasco and Veracruz. So yeah, this will definitively tell you that you're on the Yucatan Peninsula if you see one of these poles with the concrete and hanging insulators. All right, last pole meta we're going to go into is the wooden plus lowered crossbar is going to be in Sinaloa and Sonora. So general rule, I mean, as you get closer to Baja, you're going to get more wooden poles, of course, but this lowered crossbar, very low on the pole. Like, you can see how it sticks up a lot more on the top. Here's a good example of like 3 in a row here. Very lowered crossbar, but symmetrical in a way, in terms of how it sits. But the insulators are obviously not symmetrical there because there is 3. But yeah, you do get this lowered crossbar in both Sinaloa and Sonora. All right, back here for meta number 5. This is going to be the last meta to conclude the video. We have a divided road plus Yucca tree spam here. So these Yucca trees are going to be like, kind of like prickly pear growth in a way, in the way that they grow. But yeah, here's probably a better example is like stuff like maybe this, like you can kind of get a good view. It kind of grows in like a prickly pear kind of way where it's just sprouting out into all different directions. But they are going to have like these, like, I don't know, pineapple top things on the top, kind of. But yeah, also divided highway with the Yucca tree spam is going to be this 54 road, moving from Zacatecas all the way up into Saltillo there. So yeah, you can kind of see that pretty much throughout this entire road. And yeah, if you see the Yucca tree spam plus the divided road, I mean, your best choice is just to line it up because, you know, there's multiple different coverages. Here's a great one with a bunch of Yucca trees here. Sometimes you won't get it sprouting out, like zooming out in other different directions, and then some will just be like one single stalk like this. But yeah, you'll see these Yucca trees throughout, and you're pretty much playing road angle guesser at that point, but you can get a very nice guess here in Zacatecas if you do see the Yucca tree spam. All right, everyone, thank you guys for watching another 5 metas every pro should know video today. Yeah, very good Mexico episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, the JSON, of course, is going to be in the description down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out. It's free, you know, and helps boost me for the algorithm. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another daily GeoGuessr video. Peace.